We get a lot of clients that are purchasing homes, whether it's investments or usually investments, and they're using companies, they're using LLCs to be purchasing these homes or selling these homes here in Rhode Island. And there's certain nuances with that I really want to not only tell you about, but warn you about, so it does not cause a snag in your transaction, which could lead to loss of profit, loss of a sale. So what are some things that people need to know if let's talk about maybe selling through an LLC in Rhode Island?
We have to worry about several things with an LLC. The first thing is residency. I want to cover the withholding requirements too, because if a non-resident company, meaning a non-Rhode Island company, sells Rhode Island property, then you're subject to withholding that we have here in Rhode Island, where you have to evaluate based upon what you have into the property versus what you're going to walk away with, if you're going to have a gain or a loss. And if there's going to be a gain, you got a percentage has to be withheld and paid to the Division of Taxation, just because you're not a Rhode Island entity. Okay. Now, it might be a Rhode Island entity. If you're living, let's say, across the border in Massachusetts or Connecticut, you would still be subject to this withholding requirement just because of the nature. It depends on how you're getting taxed as an LLC. But I know that that's not the subject matter of our immediate discussion here. But that's something to definitely be concerned about, because it's a hurdle. So residency of the LLC is definitely important. Residency of the member is also very important. Let's say if it's a sale of the majority of the assets of the company. Okay, so lots of times that's what it is. When you have an LLC set up, the LLC owns this real estate, and when the real estate's being sold, it's sometimes, most of the time, the sale of all or most of the assets of that LLC. So if that's the case, not only do you need to get a good standing for that LLC from the Secretary of State, which is normal, you also have a requirement here that if it's a sale of the majority of the LLC's assets, you have to get a good standing certificate from the Division of Taxation. That's the thing that honestly trips a lot of people up, and it could take 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes 8 weeks, to get that good standings. People like to think, okay, it's a simple thing, just set up the LLC and it's an online thing, go away, get away from me, just get it done. But that's not like that. It's not just picking the name out of a hat. You got to make sure that it's taxed correctly. Then you set the LLC up. You got to get a tax ID number. I mean, there's a few things that need to be done. So plan ahead is all I'm asking for either side of the transaction, whether it's a buyer or a seller. Plan ahead.